Now, big topic this past week, Nick, was Cody Rhodes. And Cody, let's rewind just a little bit, because after we spoke on Friday, The Rock had a promo Friday night, which, Nick, I wasn't crazy about, me personally, because The Rock played the babyface on Friday night. He chased the hug in Memphis, Tennessee. And then he actually, in the last 2 minutes of that promo, went after Cody's mom. And because he did a lot of hug chasing for the last 18 minutes before that, when he finally did talk about Cody's mom, he had 15,000 fans chanting his name. Probably not the response that you want to get, 3 weeks out from WrestleMania when The Rock is trying to play the heel. But Cody had an opportunity to rebuttal. So first, before we get into Cody, what did you think about The Rock's promo last Friday night?
So I'll take it I'll do the positive part of it. When you're an entity that is so over and all over the world and such a big box office, everything you can possibly think of, yes, you're going to get cheered whether you're doing the right thing or not. Even with hardcore fans, you get caught up in the moment. I've been there before. My favorite thing to do at a wrestling show, independent or WWE sold out, is to cheer and boo and be a part of it. I love that. But also when someone is just this entity, it doesn't matter. Nice. What is said sometimes. So, but it is really tricky. Like, hey, if you're leaning into this heel thing, if you're leaning into being the bad guy and you're going to make it count and you're letting everybody know that this was your plan all along, even though we all know it wasn't. If that's your play, it would be a little helpful to the story. If you got, you don't have to be stupid. You could be smart, funny, calculating, witty, you name it. But also, if you're going to go after a family member, someone's mom, you're going to make it personal. That's where the extra money is. And you have, like, if you're going to have that power to have everyone be on your words and like cheering for you one way or another, make it count, man. He's above the law, so he can do whatever the hell he wants, and it's going to crush and kill. But if, in my mind, for that one extra little realism is just a little bit less of the 90s jokey humor into the, hey, let's be like, this is serious, but also I'm joking around and there's some catchphrases and I'm yelling things and I'm trying to make a joke, but also there's a very grave situation happening here in real life that we're kind of acknowledging behind the scenes, where he's taken over, where he wasn't supposed to be, but he's the boss. But is he really the boss? Yes, he calls all the shots. So there's like this realistic behind the scenes part that we sometimes used to get to, but it didn't really mean that much. It was just like a dirt sheet rumor, and we played into it. This is real life stuff, and you get to apply it to this storyline that is the hugest storyline, and it's been going on for years now. It is, everyone is involved in some way or another. To have that little piece where it's just that little dig where, hey, we're going personal now. Let's have it be where it's so personal. It's not jokey. It's not catchphrasey. It's not let's sell t-shirts. It's let's sell this story and put asses in seats even more than it already is. Everyone's doing great, but there's just something about that man, I wish there could be just that little more realism that we're kind of getting little teases of.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick, because the last thing I would think you would want to do this close to WrestleMania is muddy the waters a little bit. You're on a good track here. The fans are responding accordingly. You know this, Nick, like it's very hard, especially in 2024, for the fans to kind of take the ride along with you. The fans can go in one direction or the other, and the fans are on board. I just thought that you're kind of taking a chance the way The Rock played it in Memphis on Friday night.
But you are, but also here it shouldn't always be clear cut. Like, yay me, boo me. It should not. That's gone. That era is over, and it worked when it worked. But now it should be a little dirty, a little in between, a little. Hey, is Cody still trying to tell the story 2 years later? What about everybody else? And then it's like, is Rock really just here to help out, or did he appoint himself to the board and now he's put himself into this match? And you get to add these pieces to where you almost get like that. Hopefully, like that Hogan Rock situation where it doesn't matter who really is the bad guy and the good guy, as long as all the emotion meets up at this final choke point where it all comes out at WrestleMania. then it doesn't matter because it'll all play into the story. So either way it works. I would love just one more little twist of the knife of realism into the guts of Cody, just to give me one last piece to go. You have to beat all these people to get by. Let's do it.
All right, so let's jump ahead to Monday night and Cody's rebuttal to what The Rock had to say on Friday. What did you think of, when you first heard it, what did you think of Cody's promo on Monday night?
Okay, so I'll stop harping on this one day, but I famously do not watch wrestling. So of course I'm watching news on my, my business and politics feed of Twitter, or X, whichever calls Twitter. So, and I see 3 clips posted and they're pretty quick ones. And it's Cody saying like dick or ass or asshole or whatever. And I go, oh no. And I see these 15-second clips out of context and I go, oh no, this is so hacky. Like The Rock went in on you and we're now going to see that this is some like wannabe attitude error. Like I said, ass or bitch, like what they do to like make a big point the day before a pay-per-view when no one gives a shit about a match. And I go, that doesn't help. And I go, oh, I'm so embarrassed, man. I wanted him to do better. Then, because I'm a journalist now, is something that no one ever said or until right now, and it's not true. I did the homework, watched the actual segment, and I really liked it. So as much as those little pieces out of context, I was like, ugh, it's hacky. Altogether, the promo, the story, it wasn't the greatest thing I've ever heard of all time, but I liked it a lot. I loved it. You could switch gears and you could be serious, and then you could get down and then you talked about my mom, and then she knocked out Willie Nelson's security, and then this happened. You know what? I have nothing but nice things to say about your mother. And with a little smirk on his face, like, oh, that's the best. That's that say hello to your mother for me or something really nice, but it could also be just a little shove, a little bit too much. I love that. I really liked the promo. I really liked the style. I don't know if we've seen this done to death, but I wouldn't mind just a little bit more of Cody going a little bit more personal too. If we're going to go all in on this 2-year story and we're going to tie in the boss behind the scenes and the person calling the shots and the reason that the person came back to WWE to finish this story, if we're going to put all those pieces together and we're going all in and now we're saying about your mother, let's make it real. Let's dig that in there. Let's have Cody do it right back to him. I think he's going to finish the story, but if he doesn't, you better put everything out there because the boss that just told everybody I'm now part of Wrestlemania is going to walk out there the next day or walk off into a movie set. So you better be ready to go right after that. And you better be the next guy.
You know what, Nick? It's a great take because, I like the promo, but I didn't love it. And a lot of the points that you're making, you know what? I think you're 100% dead on balls accurate. It's just that I would have liked to seen a little bit more emotion from Cody because I just feel like when you talk about somebody's mom, that's where it's like, you know what? When you totally get out of character and you lose your head, it's almost felt like Cody excused The Rock. He even said the line like, you know what? I mentioned my mom in an interview. So you know what? That gave you the freedom to talk about my mom. No, it doesn't. Just because you mentioned your mom, that doesn't leave it open for somebody to talk about your mom. Like this whole thing started. Why? Because Cody talked about The Rock's grandfather and The Rock slapped Cody in the face. Well, now The Rock is talking about your mother. That's next level stuff. So, like, you know what? I think it's cool, like you said, that he showed class. He's not going to go tit for tat with The Rock and then talk bad about The Rock's mom. No, that's not who Cody is. I'm not asking for Cody to change who he is, but it's okay to kind of let your hair down a little bit, be a little bit uncharacteristic, and get a little out of control. And I think when somebody goes after your mom, that gives you the right to be a little out of control.
And all he really needed to do, like the way you're speaking right now, just reminded me, didn't need to do. He doesn't need to do shit. He's doing great. But in our opinion here, I think it would have been cool as hell because I'll tap on a little thing that you talked about last week where it was like, he's wearing the suits and you could see how he's being called a heels by some people who are smart into the whatever. But it would be nice to see that, not the Ric Flair version where he's taking all his clothes off, but just to see Cody in that nice ass suit and he's like, You see him fighting in his face, like what he's gonna say about The Rock. If you could just see him just take down that tie and just be like, hey, listen, man, I'm not even gonna talk about your mom, but I'm going to kick your ass and I am going to rip you out of here. And I'm going to run you out of here back to an effing movie set because you don't belong here and you know it. And it's like, you go, holy shit. He throws his jacket off or something. You go, cool. There's a guy that's just like me underneath there that can only take so much shit and he's got to knock somebody out. And that would have been a beautiful way to end it, but they got a couple weeks to go. Hey, maybe there's more to come here, and maybe it's a little seed planting. It's been seed planting for 2 fucking years. So if they're doing another little seed plant, that's okay. But man, I want to see that guy, and it's basically 101 wrestling from 100 years ago. When it's time for the comeback, when it's time to see your guy that you're rooting for, you don't want him to just punch the bad guy and then go about his way. You want him to go, here I am defending all of you against this piece of shit. Let's take him out together right now. And then we're all going, yes. And then he goes, and that's that last piece. He's not missing it. The story's going to be great. Play's going to be sold out. No one gives a shit. If, in my opinion, to make it that much bitter, to have me as a bitter insider going, yeah, fucking kill The Rock. Yeah, we fucking hate the sun, like let's get that in there. That would be so beautiful. They may go another way, but I just got all worked up thinking about it.
No, but Nick, you got me worked up. I mean, like as you're talking, from what you're saying and the beauty of what you said, I wasn't hearing Nic Nemeth saying that. I was actually hearing Cody Rhodes say it, and it got me kind of fired up. Like, let's fucking go. Like, let's go. Let's go to Phil. I got to be in that building in Philadelphia to see fucking Cody Rhodes beat the shit out of The Rock night 1 and then take that championship night number 2. Like, that's how fired up. And that's you saying it, Nick. I mean, so imagine if that was Cody. Now, you're right. There's still a couple weeks left. Maybe we get that. But, man, when somebody's talking about your mama, dude, that's next level shit where you think you're going to get that kind of emotion out of somebody.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And maybe we get low road Rock again. And then Cody goes, you know what? I'm not even going to do, and then you get that last payoff on the last TV or week before Mania. Oh, be beautiful.